Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. He lost everything in Angeles City in 6 months. A cautionary tale. Let's talk about that today. We're up here in Manila, the big city of dreams. I love visiting this place, but I could never live here. If you've been following me, you know we were up here for Booby CRBA appointment. And I want to tell y'all a story. A gentleman I met at the U.S. Embassy, of all the men that I've met, all the horror stories I've heard, this is the one that really touched me. And I really had sympathy for the man. But we're standing in line ready to go into the embassy, and a guy sees me. He says, "Hey, aren't you Sunshine Shoulders, the YouTuber?" And I said, "Yeah." And, you know, we just chit-chat a little bit. And I said, "Hey, how's everything going up here?" And he said, "Well, not so good. I lost everything." He said that to me within 30 seconds of meeting me. He said, "Yeah, I lost everything. Fooling around with these girls and these scammers and everything." This is his exact words, and I'm going to keep his anonymity. I'm not going to tell his name. I'm not trying to ridicule anybody, but somebody can learn from this story, because I'm going to tell you what I think some of the things he did wrong. Now, right here, we're on the to-go. We're coming into port. But anyway, he went on to tell me, he said, "Yeah," he said, "I sold everything, my house and everything, to come to the Philippines in February." He said, "Now I'm broke. Everything's gone." He was at the U.S. Embassy because he was getting a new passport. He said one of the girls even stole his passport and his SRV card because he said that they thought it had some value. I guess they were going to try to extort money from him or whatever it was. And he's a great gentleman. He was 53 years old, but he looked to be 73. You could see the stress. It was all on his face. He was really in bad shape. He was done. Really, he was cooked. And, you know, we sat down, and he's got these two women with him. And if these are bar girls, they had to be the ugliest bar girls I've ever seen. These two women were buzzards. You know, they were just circling around a dead body, just waiting for him to drop, and they can take whatever's left. But he said he came with 140,000 US dollars, and now he said in his estimate about 30,000, no more than 40,000 left, but he did have a pension. He said, "I can't even go back to the United States because I can't afford to live there anymore." He didn't tell me where it was from. And I thought to myself, you know, why is he telling me all this stuff? I don't even know him. I guess he was just looking for somebody that he felt he could trust to talk to, you know, to tell his story. Because it's a tragic story. And I told him, I said, you know, I asked him, I said, "Is this your first time ever coming to the Philippines?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You know, from watching all the vloggers and everything, I decided to come. This is where I wanted to retire." He said, "I watched your videos." And I was like, "Dude, you must not have watched my videos if you ended up making all the mistakes that you made. You might have been watching them, but you wasn't taking any of our advice or any of our suggestions." And see, this is one of the mistakes he made. See, people think that we don't know what we're talking about, that we're just on here for the money or whatever it is. It's really not the case. Certainly not with me. But he said, "Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been to the Philippines." And he landed in Angeles City, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because Angeles City has a lot of expat resources, a lot of great people in Angeles City that can help you. They can show you the way. Because if you're new, if you're watching this right now, and you're thinking of coming to the Philippines, and you're thinking of landing in Angeles City, well, you better have a welcoming party. And it better not be a bunch of women. Have a couple of expats waiting for you. I'll be chatting with them before you get here. because it can be a blessing and a curse. And in his case, it was a curse. He got there, and I'm sure I know exactly what he did. He started going to the bars, ended up meeting some women. They probably were robbing him. Because we let our guard down. We'll start sleeping around these women as if we've been knowing them our whole lives, and we haven't. They end up taking his passport. Guys, keep your guard up. First of all, be careful when you're dealing with these bar girls. They're scandalous. I caught a lot of flack when I said, bar girls make good housewives, but I wasn't talking about literally going out and marrying a bar girl. I was saying that be careful, because when they leave the bar and they go back to wherever they're from, you can't tell the difference between them and a regular Filipino. They wear the same clothes, they eat the same food, they have the same mannerisms. This is what I was talking about. There's a lot of trouble that you can get into in Angeles City. But of all the stories that I've ever heard, this is probably the most tragic, because I know for a fact that this guy was telling the truth. He sold everything to come to the Philippines, and now his dream is dead. His dream is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely gone, stolen from him. And when he got up to go to the window and they called his name, Merlin heard the two women say something about his money. Yeah, he still got money left. They were buzzards, man, and they looked like buzzards, and they didn't mean this man any good. And my heart went out to him. I'm saying, guys, look. One of the guys on my live stream yesterday said something so profound. He said, when you come over here, he said, it's a marathon. He said, remember, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Slow down, guys. Take your time. For him to have come over, I can see it. I see the look in his face. He's physically sick. I felt that way many nights after spending all my money on crack cocaine. When the night starts out, you're Nino Brown. You calling shots, you got money. Hey, go here, go there, do this, do that. People turning flips for you. But as the night goes on and your money gets lower and lower and lower until finally it's gone, now the party's over. They start yawning and stuff. Oh, what are you going to do? They're ready for you to go so they can replace you with somebody else. I hope that this guy doesn't do anything stupid. He still got $30,000 to $40,000, he said, and a pension. I suggested to him to get out of Angeles City. Was I wrong for that? I said, you may try Cebu. But somebody on the live stream said, wherever he goes, he's going to take himself. You can't blame that on the bar girls, they said. Sounds like he was a man of bad judgment to begin with. And that was her opinion, and it made a lot of sense, because the women he was with, he wasn't trying to do any better. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I just wanted to tell y'all this story, man. It's really sad. The guy comes here with his dreams in his hand. And within 6 months, they were gone, stolen from him by opportunistic women. And of course, he has to take some blame for it. But $100,000 in 6 months, that's got to be a record. I don't know what he could have been doing. Certainly, they stole a lot of his money from him, but know where you're going when you come over here. Have some friendly faces, some friendly forces waiting for you when you get here. It's a steep learning curve in the Philippines, but most of us, we think, I got this. They speak English over there. I don't need any help. A lot of guys, we come over here, we're hiding. We don't want people to even know we're here, because we know we're going to do some scandalous stuff. But for the people who have good intentions, do some research, do your due diligence. I would say if you've never been to the Philippines before, Angeles City would not be the first jumping off point. I would try Cebu or any other places besides Angeles City, because there's people there who are waiting to steal your dreams. That's exactly what happened to him. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find your heart to help somebody. Now, day goes by that I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know just one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And don't do anything stupid. Don't come over here and lose $100,000 within 6 months. Stop going to sleep around these bar girls and women you don't know, because they'll steal your dreams like they stole his dreams. My condolences to you, guy. I hope you get it all together and move on. I would say take whatever you got left and get out of Angeles City, because Angeles City can be a blessing or a curse.